Hello, my name is Asia Bess and I am going to be building a PC for the very first time. I feel the need to stress that this is not a tutorial by any means. I also have no idea what I'm doing. Not no idea, but I'm new to this, so I would not follow any of this. This is mostly for the people who know how to build a PC and want someone to make fun of. I'm basically just going to show you the parts that I have, and I'm just gonna start putting it together and we're gonna see if it works. I did a lot of research. I've been preparing for this for months now. I know what everything does, I know what it's all for, and I know where it all goes for the most part. If anything goes wrong, I imagine it would be little details that I never really considered. I've watched all the videos, read all the articles, so here we go. First I'm going to show you guys the parts that I have. I'm not going to explain why I chose the parts that I chose. Okay, first thing I'm going to show you guys is my motherboard. I have a Z490 motherboard. I know. I already know what y'all are thinking. The people who build PCs all the time, I know what you're thinking. Why on earth? I think it looks cute. I like the design. My CPU, I'm using the Core i7 Intel processor for my CPU. For my RAM, I have Corsair's Vengeance RGB. I have the two 8GB ones. My M.2 SSD. I've got a lot of the products that I'm using are Corsair products for a number of reasons. Let's talk about the cooler. I know that a lot of people, and I've heard this so many times and I've seen it everywhere, should not do a liquid cooler your first time building because it's harder. But I wanted a liquid cooler, so I have the Corsair H100i RGB liquid cooler. I'm really excited to open this, and I think that this is the thing I'm most excited to put in my PC. If I'm gonna do it for the first time, some other time, why not do it for the first time now? Right? I don't know, judge me in the comments. For my GPU, I have, okay, let me explain this. I know that I don't need this intense of a GPU, but right now, in the time that we're in, PC building is really, really popular and everything is sold out. And I'm impatient. I got what I could get. For the most part, this is basically the last thing. That stuff doesn't work. This is my PSU. I got the 8050 because you just never know. You know? Just never know. I'm thinking beyond. I'm saving myself time and money in the future. I'm gonna be like, oh my gosh, thank you so much, Asia, for thinking about me. So the Corsair 8050X PSU. It's really heavy. I didn't expect it to be this heavy. Those are all the parts I'm using. I'm gonna set it up right here behind me. Y'all are gonna get to watch me do the whole thing and probably either cringe or sit there thinking, not bad. We'll see when this is over and it does or does not work. I also got thermal paste from Corsair. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to need it. As far as I've seen, Corsair's liquid coolers come pre-applied. I might not need this, but it was only like $7. I got it. I have an extra fan because I know I didn't need it, but I wanted it. I feel like it's worthy of noting. My motherboard's I/O shield is pre-mounted, so that's one less thing that I have to do. Thank God. It wasn't hard, but I don't have to do it, right? I'm gonna unbox as I go because I don't want pieces laying around. But I do have, in case you were wondering, my anti-static band, and I would love to use this. And I want to use it. But I don't really know what to connect it to. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I don't know what to connect this to. A lot of the videos I have seen have been people connecting it to their PSU, but that's on PCs that are already built. And mine's not built yet, and PSU is probably going to be like one of the last things that I do. So I don't know if I'm going to use it, how I'm going to use it, we'll see. Other than that, I'm trying to wrap it up and go fast so you can actually see me build it. I have my screwdriver. You're supposed to get a magnetic one. I think this is magnetic. And it's magnetic right here. I'm assuming it would work. And a bowl. I would put it in like a little pill case for screws and stuff that are loose, but I don't feel like looking for one. Here we go. We're gonna see how this works. Hi. Hello. So I'm gonna mostly just be doing this over voice thing, but I feel like this makes it just a little bit easier to really understand what's going on. But this is just me putting my CPU in. It was pretty easy. I just had to be bold enough to really put some pressure on it when I'm pushing it down. I was just really scared. I think I was doing that throughout most of this, was just really timid and I didn't want to break anything, which is interesting considering I dropped my RAM, but that's neither here nor there. Yes, here we are. I'm putting my my cooler together. I'm aware that it's backwards. I fixed that later on, way later on. I noticed it really, really late, but I will be fixing that later on. But yes, this is me putting together my cooler before I put it onto my motherboard. Now, this video got cut off, but I had to actually move those pins in because they like slide inward and there's a little bit of space for you to move it. But I had to actually move mine in a little bit because the motherboard's pins were a little bit shorter. But you can see in this video that I put it on. Just kind of pushed it in there, and it wasn't really hard, and it stuck there to the back. That's just me showing you that I had to push them in. But yeah, that was my CPU and the back of my cooler. So now I'm just gonna sort of zoom through. I put these little screws in that they gave me with it, and then this is the scary part, right? It's already pre-applied, so that was super easy. I put the screws in at a diagonal so that it would spread a little bit more evenly and I wouldn't put pressure on one side or anything. I mean, they had all the videos were telling me to do that, so I was like, okay, that makes sense. So I just did it. This is me putting the cords together. I learned a lot about the actual products. I didn't learn a ton about the cords, so as I was doing a lot of the cords, and like connectors and stuff, I had no idea what was going on. So that's something I had to actually learn throughout the process as I was going. But I figured it out eventually. I put the one that comes from the I don't even know what it's called, the little square part of the cooler to the bottom. But I was putting it mostly together just to test it later on, but I ended up taking it all apart. But my RAM video also got cut. so I'm showing you here that only one side actually clicked down, so I was afraid to put one side in and then the other, but I really could just slide it in, even though only one side was you know, where you put the little button or push the little thing down. But I just clicked it in until both sides clicks, until both sides clicked, and then I kept it pushing. Here is me messing with my heatsink for my M.2. On the back of this, another thing I did wrong, on the back of that actual heatsink, there's a like sticky or something you're supposed to take off. I did not take that off, not even in this video. So I found that out later. So remember to take that paper off. This isn't a tutorial, but if you're listening, remember to take that off. They gave me that screw with the M.2 in the box. So actually, no, I think it might have come with the motherboard. I don't remember. I got the screw through someone, and it looks like that. And the other screw goes in after I push down the actual card. That took me a minute because I couldn't figure out what the screw was supposed to look like, but it was a two-part system, and I was so blown away by that. It took me so long, but yeah, I pushed that in until it was sticking up like a what's it called, like a diving board, and then I pushed it down, screwed it in. Take the paper off the back of the heatsink and then screw it in. That's what I did, and that was a pretty easy process for the most part. If you know where your screws are, most of this is going to be 10 times easier. I'm so glad I stayed organized because otherwise this would have been a hot mess and extremely chaotic for me. So I'm putting my PSU together right now. I put it together to test it, although I wasn't originally planning on putting it together this early, but
in order to test it, I put it all together. So all those cords are already plugged in. And my case, here we go. This case ended up, yeah. So, to absolutely no one's surprise, I had a few mishaps. I'm sure you can tell by the change of clothes. First of all, and very, very importantly, my case was too small. So I had to return it and get a new one as fast as possible so I didn't have my stuff sitting out. And it came pretty fast, so I have that now. And I'm gonna try and actually put that in and put my GPU in. But for now, when I tested it, my RAM wasn't lighting up and my cooler didn't look like it was working. We'll see if that changes if I actually boot it up. But I don't know, we'll see. So I got a new case, so you're gonna see a new case, and that's why. She's big but small. She's small, but like, she's very self-aware. Y'all should have seen her existential crisis when she discovered what she looked like in the mirror.
Okay, so day 2, got my new case. I'm pretty sure it's the CORSAIR crystal something case. I can't remember it. But yeah, I have plenty of space now for my cooler at the top. So now I can finish putting it together. I screwed in my motherboard. My motherboard had this sort of little like notch in the middle. So when I was screwing them in, I had 3 screws on top, 3 screws on bottom, and then 2 on the sides. And then I had this little notch in the middle, so I didn't actually have to screw that one in, which made it a little easier. Also, it helped me like find where to lay it. So I'm mostly just messing with my cords, doing some cord management, and figuring out where I want to put everything. My fan, my handy dandy fan that I loved so much. I wanted the white one, so I just decided to switch them out. I think here I slow it down to say that the case door was kind of griefing me trying to put this together, because I was trying to make it sit up, but it was heavy and I couldn't get past it. So the door didn't like stay in one place. It was either just open or it was closed, and other than that it was going to be in your way. But that's like a non-issue because the case doesn't sit like this on your desk. Hopefully, if your case sits like that on your desk, and you're probably doing something wrong. But anyways, I move on to my cooler here and start shoving cords where they need to go and figuring out where my cooler goes. But first I had to take off this sort of glass shield on the back or on the top of my case. It was like a screw and then some little like squishy thingies. They're squishy, I don't know what they are. But this is me showing you the screws. I don't even know if these were the screws I actually ended up using, because I found out that I put my screws that were for this on my motherboard, and I had to switch them out to find the real ones, and that took me a minute. But there's 2 places I could put the cooler, and I put mine in the smaller ones because obviously that's where they fit. And there was a little filter that came with it, which actually fits kind of weird, but whatever, it doesn't really matter. I started shoving cords places and getting them to the back. So I pull the cords out from the back, right? Now that I know where all the cords go, I can figure out where I want to put them before actually putting everything together. So I take this one cord. I was trying to find this one individual cord that I wanted to bring back to the front. And I'm pretty sure it was the CPU cord. And I bring it to the front for obvious reasons, and then I think I ended up putting it right back through the back again because it was long. It was a long cord, so I was like, okay, let me just run it through the back and then put it through a different hole so that it'd be a little bit easier to manage. Some cord management there, y'all. Thanks. I'm really learning. I took the paper off of this so it'd be easier to peel off once I was done. So I put the top back on, and yeah, that was that. Here is the video where I explain that I did my fans wrong. So we're gonna fix that here. The actual thing comes all the way off. Like,
out of the case. And it only takes 2 screws. So it was a super easy fix. And I just took it out and I flipped the fans over and I just made sure that I had the cords at the top still. And that was the main thing that I was trying to figure out. So I fixed that. You're welcome. Sure that was bothering some of you. The PSU is really easy. It fit in there real snug. It was perfect. There was this weird screw at the bottom, like on the bottom right. I don't know if you can tell. It's kind of shaped weird, but the other screws had holes, and that bottom right screw did not have a hole, so that was a little weird. And I was taking it out and putting it back in to see if maybe I was doing something wrong, but it just was built weird. It was built funny, so I was like, whatever. There's a lot of hair in the camera. Sorry about that. Obviously, we're moving on to the GPU. I saw this video of this dude opening this, and he just tore the thing apart. He just ripped it apart, and I thought that was so funny because there's instructions right there, and he just ripped it up, and you just slide it right out. It's so easy. I thought that was funny, but I guess it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. My thing with this was the stickies, like everything, all the stickers on it. There was a lot of stickers on the GPU, so I was really just trying to find all of them for a minute because I didn't want to accidentally leave anything on there. I did take that one off the back eventually. I was just trying to see where I wanted to take out of the side thingies, side panel things. I don't know. I decided where I wanted to take those out, but took it off. This actually took me a minute too. There's that little plastic thing on the front. It took me way too long to figure out that I needed to take that off. And then I had to take it out and put it back in because these little like things that go inside of the USB, I don't know, it was like some like, I don't even remember what they're called. I don't even know what they are, but I'm going to show you here in a second in like a snapshot of it. But these little things that were in the side that I didn't take out, and I was having a hard time putting my GPU in because it was taking up space. But that was the issue. There they are. This I'm not using. I don't have hard drive, so I just took it out to make more space for myself, and also because I wanted to be able to manage cords a little bit easier. But yeah, that was really easy. Well, relatively easy, but here's some cord stuff that I did so you can see close up. I fixed my fans, and my CPU cord is coming out through the corner there. I don't know why I spent so much time showing that I was putting this in there, because I didn't do that with the other ones. So yeah, there it is. It's in there, Asia. That's awesome. That's there. Yep. I'm so sorry. I don't know why. But this, yes, I plugged that in. Earlier I was talking about how I was going to have to unplug it to plug it back in. And now I'm plugging it back in to my USB. Yes, right there. Oh my goodness. Perfect. Snug. And that's pretty much everything. After I put all the cords in, I was ready to test it out, boot it up. Oh yeah, these two. That was really easy. That was one of the easier things that I put together, or that I put in there, because it was so just clearly laid out. So that was one of the easier parts. And then I found the cords. And after that, it was smooth sailing. We'll see.
Hello. So obviously this took 3 days, not 3 days, multiple days, but this is day 3. As you can tell, I'm wearing a different, this has to be the last day because this is my last turtleneck. Everything turned on, everything worked. The issues that I had after that were basically just booting it up. I had a lot of problems with Windows and with getting that onto my computer. The only issue I had after that was trying to get my Ethernet connected. For some reason I was having issues with that. And I ended up getting that figured out. So now it works, it runs. Why not turn it on right now? Why not? Spoil ourselves a little. I had a couple complications, but at the end of the day I got it to work. It has taken me a really long time. Y'all did not see the tears and frustration part of this, but I eventually got it to work. All is well, all is working. If you watched this entire video, thank you. I appreciate your time. I mean, maybe it helps somebody. It's not a tutorial, so I don't know if it actually ended up helping anyone. It was a long video, but it was a long process. I'm really proud and excited and satisfied with the results. Thank you for watching.